Islander fans, to another fun episode here of Isles Talk. My name is Paul Kreischer. I am your host for this evening. Joe and Gary will be joining us momentarily. And we're also going to have, uh, oh, never mind. Look at you go.
Yeah, I figured I'd show my UK colors tonight.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So listen, Gary, we're gonna have a special guest on. Um, we are actually bringing uh, Randy Workman from the Flames Scratchpad
Oh, there
Flames
goes
website.
my night.
I know, but um, you know,
Is he on a
spoiler
short leash?
Calgary. What's that?
Is he on a short leash?
Yeah, he might be. He's already under some rules, but Elias Lindholm appears to be on the move. So we're gonna get his thoughts on whatnot. So yeah, but he'll come on in about 15 minutes.
Okay.
So yes, it is. See, I love you guys. Yes, bad hair day. It's just too long. I haven't gotten cut yet. I don't care.
Oh, wait a
Anyway,
minute. Mine's actually worse. That's why I'm wearing a hat.
you've got hair.
Blow it out your eardrums, Paul.
There we go. That's
I
what I'm.
want I want to see what you're like when you're my age, pal.
Speaking of no hair, Joe will be joining us. I think at some point.
You sure he wants to?
Well, not anymore. Um, but yeah, no. We Joe and I may have a different topic after that.
Mhm.
Um, however, this is one of Gary's favorite shows to do throughout the year. Plenty of rumors, trade rumors, and conspiracy theories.
Well,
So,
you're going to have to provide a lot of it. I can comment on it because, truthfully, in the past week, I really haven't paid a lot of
well,
attention to it.
this is what we're going to do here tonight, folks. I'm going to briefly go over the Athletics um, ranking of the Islanders prospects at number 31 real quick, and then it kind of turns into the trade deadline and if the Islanders should be buyers or sellers. Um, and then, we're going to have Randy on because, in all honesty, Randy's team, the Calgary Flames, they're the biggest influence in terms of timing for all these trades to happen for the trade deadline. So we're going to bring him in. And what we're also going to do when we get to buyers and sellers here, we're going to go over the rest of the Metro Division specifically because New Jersey, Carolina, the Rangers, they're all over the place right now. The Metro is nothing but a hot mess. Um, so we're going to get into that. So listen, Scott Wheeler from the Athletic he does this every year. He ranks out the prospects in every farm system and whatnot. I thought it was a very good read. Um, as someone who covers the drafts and prospects, I have learned through other scouts as well, never, ever take those rankings seriously. They are what they are. A lot of teams are where they are because of the specific position that their organization is in. Okay, if you take a look at the Boston Bruins haven't made a first round pick in a while. They usually have one of the worst prospects pool, and yet there they are in the playoffs. The Tampa Bay Lightning have nothing in their farm system either. But what the Islanders, Bruins, and Tampa Bay have been doing, especially last year, the Islanders have been buying college free agents. They've been drafting overagers from the Canadian Hockey League. They're bringing over, at some point, other drafted Europeans. So, yes, Bridgeport right now is an expansion team. But you have to remember, there's a lot of prospects in college right now that are vying for a national championship. In all honesty, do you want those kids playing in a winning environment, going for a national championship, or do you want them in Bridgeport? Yes, Jim. Excellent example. Providence is usually pretty good. That's because they do the same thing the Islanders are currently doing now, and what other teams are starting to pick up on. They're buying some of these players to their contracts. scouting has been very good for Providence. Providence is an excellent example. I'll give you another one, the Hershey Bears. Hershey Bears do the same thing. That's why they've been consistently good. Now, the Islanders themselves, instead of doing a full-out rebuild where you build from the bottom to the top, they've done the reverse. They're trading their draft picks for players to help them now, and they have so far. What the Islanders need to do in this upcoming draft is continue to draft from rounds 4 through 7, draft those overagers, or draft some of those players that are really, really young. Like they just entered that draft. They got lucky to be in. Okay. They still have a first round, they still have a second round pick. So there's plenty of options for the Islanders to do. And excuse me, the Islanders do not have their 7th round pick. They only have their 4th, 5th, and 6th. They traded their 7th for Robert Bortuzzo before. So, okay, we'll get into that in a minute. So, listen, moving forward, everything Wheeler said about the prospects was correct. They are who they are. But again, it's pretty much right where they are now. Could they be a little better? Sure. But what's Wheeler going off of? Their floor. Remember what I talked about in the drafts? Their ceilings, like their potential, the floor is where they probably will end up being. That's where he's going. So, Isaiah George, can he still be an NHLer? Sure. Will he be a bottom pair? Most likely. But he sees some time as a top 4. Of course he could. But Wheeler's not going to go out and say, yeah, this guy's definitely a top 4. It's too early. When you're in the lower ranks, the way the Islanders are, it just means there are players who have the potential to get.
Yeah, Paul, let me just interrupt you because you are having some issues with your audio.
What's that?
It's going in and out. Your audio. You. Not that anybody doesn't want to listen to you, but you know.
I know that. Yeah, I don't know.
Actually that sounds better.
Oh, all right. Maybe I'm just closer.
Just keep close to the mic. Yeah, you'll be all right.
Nope, that's fine. Works for me. So there we go. All right. So listen, the Metro right now is a complete hot mess.
That's for sure.
Okay, I've picked about 12 players right now that are floating around. These are all internet rumors, and let me do. I am not Matthew. I love the humor, but I'm getting pissed with him now. I'm gonna block him. I don't even know why I'm choppy. I don't. I have no idea.
Well, when you move to look at your other screen, you do tend to lose it.
Oh, okay.
When you go like this.
Oh crap. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I have my mic underneath me.
Okay. So still a bit choppy. I don't know.
All right, we'll have to deal.
Yeah, we'll have to work with it.
Moving right along.
We picked again. Viewer discretion. These are not my rumors. These are not Joe's rumors. Usually, when Joe and I come up with a rumor, or if we hear something, it's because Joe and I have both heard something from different people. Joe has his contacts. I have mine. They're completely different. And when they come together, that's when we start causing trouble for the Islanders because we've gotten we get in trouble for that. We get yelled at. We either get yelled at, or we get cut off, or we get both. So, having said that, Gary is vice president of the Booster Club.
Yes.
Okay. Since Gary is vice president of the Booster Club, Joe and I purposely do not tell him anything that goes on.
No, absolutely not. Just to reiterate or add on to that, I read just like everybody else that's on this chat room, that talks. I've got opinions, I've got ideas, but I have zero connection with anybody media related, with the exception of like Andrew Gross that I talked to, and
sure.
hung out and had drinks with in Nashville. That's the extent of it. I have no connections to scouting. I have no Paul and Joe do an amazing job with their work, and they've got a lot of good connections, and they get a lot of interesting tidbits. But like I said, as far as I'm concerned, I can 1000% assure anybody that's listening that I have no connections whatsoever. And that doesn't mean anything bad. It just, I stay out of it.
Right. And the Islanders are aware of that. So if something happens to Joe and I, Isles talk still belongs to Gary. So Gary can still continue with Isles talk. I don't know what would happen to Joe and I. But anyway, having said that,
Behave, Paul.
yes, yes. I've already been yelled at. I'm not even allowed to do conspiracy theories. So, but I do have one coming up on the show. This is going to be interesting. So listen, these rumors, this is all internet stuff, boys and girls. This is for pretty much entertainment only. Um, we're gonna have Randy on here in a few minutes. As a matter of fact, Randy, whenever you want to come on in. Um, again, real quick with Randy Workman. Yeah, I know. Pray for us. Randy and I have known each other now since '08, '09. He's been covering the Flames now for all this time. He also covers the Leafs. One of the things Randy and I have always been good at are what ifs, and we get into some rumors. We get into, you know, other things, conspiracy theories at this point. And because the Flames are basically 1, 2, and 3 in every rumor chart, it
Yeah.
was very, very appropriate for him to come into the show, but only for this time. He won't be allowed on the show after this when we're done. So
We love Randy, but
we do. Yeah, he's going to be a pain in the butt. And you know what? Lou trades our first round pick again. He should be fired. Matter of fact, the owners should fire Lamoriello immediately. Guys, listen. It's let me put it to you this way. From a prospect standpoint, and I said this a couple of weeks ago. From a prospect standpoint, the Islanders do not need to trade away their draft pick for a player now. If they decide to do that, it's probably because they really want that person. And it's not going to, I don't think it's going to be a 30-year-old. So, real quick, Randy, how are you, my friend?
Good, guys. How about you? Thank you for the invite, Paul. Hi, Gary.
Not a problem.
hey, Randy, what's going on, buddy?
Not much. Just waiting. Waiting. Getting texts every 4 minutes telling me what the heck is going on. My social.
All right, so keep quiet on the source there.
Yep.
Real quick, Metro Division. Okay, your Flames are influencing the Metro Division here,
Yes, we are.
pissing me off. Okay. We got a list of a bunch of players, and it's like I said, the Flames have like the top 3. So what
Yeah.
I'm going to do is, I have those 3 Flames players, and I'm going to associate them with the teams that have been linked.
Yep.
Okay, so let's go with the first one, Elias Lindholm. He's been linked so far to Carolina, Washington, and the Rangers.
Yep.
What do you got on Elias Lindholm?
You can add Boston to that list.
No, I don't add Boston. He's not. They're not in the Metro. Metro only.
Oh, in the Metro only.
Metro only, yeah.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Mitch. Yeah, that's it. Yep. There's no other Metro teams listed in there. I'm sure the Islanders have called, but they're not. But nothing went of it.
That I'll say no. I'll say no on Lindholm right now. What about what is the latest with Lindholm?
90% done. I can't pronounce the guy's name. Maybe you guys can help me with this.
Kuzmenko?
Yes,
Kuzmenko.
he's going the other way apparently. Calgary also wants a forward named Hoglander from Vancouver.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
They really want him, and so we'll see if that gets done. And Cruz has to waive his no trade clause. Calgary's on his no trade list. He does not want to go to Calgary, so there has to be some sweet talking. If not, Lenko will go to the Rangers, and Kako
Kako.
is involved in that deal, and Kako will be a Flame if that deal falls apart.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. So let's have some fun with this. Gary, the Rangers are currently in first. If they get someone like Lindholm, does that put them, I'd say, at least conference finals?
Yeah, I think so. As long as nothing, again, assuming no injuries and everything else, that
Right.
really bolsters their lineup. Kako, I think the Rangers really tried to do everything they can because he was a number 2 pick. You
Right.
really don't want to necessarily get rid of it unless the perfect deal comes in. And if that's the case, then yeah, that'd be a humongous trade for the Rangers.
No, I got told this about a week ago, and I didn't believe it because I'm like Gary. I was told a week and a half ago. I was told that he's not off the market, and then 4 or 5 days later, I get told he's getting shopped, and then Drager confirmed that. I don't know when, but I'm getting told Drager's confirmed that the Rangers may use Keiko for a major deal.
Okay.
I don't
Well,
know.
listen, Randy. General rule of thumb here, and this is us working in the rumors for God knows how long now.
Yeah.
A rumor normally lasts 3 to 4 days max,
Exactly.
unless it's persistently brought up. A rumor is only good for maybe 3 days. That's because the talk has already happened. We're just late for the party.
Pretty much. I agree.
Okay. Beautiful.
Confirmed.
All right. Listen, Noah Hannafin. Noah Hannafin is linked to New Jersey in the Metro.
Yep. And you can add one more team to that list.
Go ahead.
Yours.
New York, the Rangers,
No.
the Islanders. Hannafin to the Islanders. Now you're going to tick me off because I've been wanting Hannafin for quite some time.
I was given a list of 4 teams. The Islanders were listed on that. So were the Rangers.
All right, so this is where I hate bringing Randy on.
I'm sorry. I can only.
Who do you want for Hannafin? Who do you want for Hannafin?
Well, I've heard one player's name that must be involved. 2 players' names must be involved. That involves your top prospect and Wahlstrom. Plus, that means Wahlstrom and Dufour will be members of the Calgary Flames if that deal went down.
That's it. Wahlstrom and Dufour. I think
there'll be more to it,
that.
But
probably a first rounder.
Yeah, probably a first rounder is probably involved, and the Islanders will probably send us another roster player.
The problem I have with that is that the Islanders have $6 million in cap space.
Yep.
And if you're going to re-sign Simon Holmstrom, you're losing at least $1 million, and that's fine.
That's right.
Hannafin's worth more than that by a long shot. Now, of course, if you trade Oliver Wahlstrom, you're still close to that $6 million. But again, is Hannafin worth more than that?
But you said, Paul, you know how rumors go.
Of course.
I mean, this
is a little fun one, and I hate it when you tease me like this.
Well, I didn't want to say anything, but I know that if it's something I've heard, you're gonna.
I know.
You want to know about it.
So listen, Gary.
Mm-hmm.
Dougie Hamilton is not with the Devils, and it doesn't look like he's going to be back anytime soon. You bring in someone like Noah Hannafin. Is Noah Hannafin that big of a game changer to put the Devils not only in the playoffs, but let's call it conference finals?
Yeah, I would go one notch lower.
Okay.
I mean, I like Hannafin a lot, but I don't think he's. Well, again, you can, Randy, you could respond to the Dougie Hamilton, as you had him early on, but I like that Hawaiian outfit there, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, I told him Hawaiian, no Leafs jersey. No
Leafs jersey. Yeah, didn't want to see Matthews on his chest tonight, so that's good. No, I think it would help the Devils, I think a lot, but I don't think he's the same type of player, and I don't think it's going to be the same kind of a difference. But yeah, it would be a good move.
Well, it would be a good move, but I
don't know what Jersey would have to give up.
What Jersey would have to give up, and I hate to say this, and this is no fan. I hope I don't offend any Jersey fans, but they need a little bit more than Hannafin to get them involved in the playoff hunt. I mean,
well, their goaltending situation is killing them.
Bingo.
The goaltending situation is killing New Jersey.
And we all 3 of us know that there's of course they're doing something because they finally put Hamilton on the long-term injured reserve list.
Correct.
To give him the money. So we know they're up to something.
Right. Well done. Yep. All right, so listen, Chris Tanev again, linked to New Jersey. He's not going to be that big game changer like Hannafin would be,
No.
Like his grit, but yeah, right.
but yeah, he would be a last resort. Adam Henrique, and again, we're bringing up New Jersey, the Rangers in Carolina, left winger / center, depending on where the team's needs are. I can't see. I don't think Henrique left on bad terms
What,
with
New
the
Jersey?
Devils. I don't think I see. There's always something about playing for that team you really didn't like, and back then the Devils and Rangers did not like each other. So I don't know if Henrique has any kind of control as to where he wants to be traded to, but I could definitely see New Jersey and Carolina.
I can
Going
look
out.
up his contract terms. Let me do that.
Oh no, don't bother with that.
Okay.
Rumors and conspiracies tonight.
Okay.
Best guess. Where do you think Adam Henrique goes? Jersey, Rangers, or Carolina?
Does that just have to be in the? If I don't think he's in the Metro, should I say?
No, pick one team in the Metro.
Pick one team in the Metro. Out of those three, I think he's probably more Hurricanes than the other two.
Okay.
I lean that way too.
Okay.
I would lean that way.
I think Carolina. Could you imagine Carolina racking up Lindholm and Henrique? Oh, that's over. That would be game over for everybody. But again, that's how close Carolina is. But for me, I think Carolina just needs the goaltenders, and we're going to get to them in a little bit. I don't know how much of a chance we're all giving Washington. But Washington's been linked to Jacob Chychrun. Chychrun would do wonders long term for the Capitals, especially with Nicholas Backstrom being out. You can afford Chychrun.
Well, let me put a nightmare in against everybody. Imagine Chychrun him with Carlson on that power play.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
go ahead, Gary.
That would be.
I'm just interested. I mean, because I know, Ottawa, did a big thing to get him, and I've seen a lot of stuff. Again, just cruising online, especially TSN and Sportsnet. When I look around, and it seems like Chychrun loves it there.
He does.
Yeah, I just that's why I don't see it. I mean, you need, with that team as in flux as it's going to be over the next 12 to 24 months, you need to have a solid base point.
Right.
I mean, you got Stützle and them up front, and I think Sanderson and Chychrun would be your solid core. I just don't see Ottawa doing that right now. Right. I don't know, maybe just a gut feeling, but I don't see Chychrun going anywhere.
Right. All right. So moving down the list here, let's say the Rangers do lose out on Lindholm. The next popular one is Sean Monahan from the Montreal Canadiens. Again, Monahan as a second or third line center, that wouldn't put the Rangers conference finals. Carolina gets some hot goaltending. I think Carolina could still take out the Rangers with Monahan there. Randy, give me your thoughts.
I was talking to another podcast that shall not be named, and it's not the one that you know. I asked them about that. I said, "Who gets them, the Rangers or Colorado?" And they told me, "Bang on, that it's down to those two."
Okay. Monahan with Colorado is a different story.
They'll be fighting over and I'm not supposed to mention another team outside the division. Sorry,
right.
But Monahan, the Rangers. I think Carolina would make a good fit for Monahan too.
Right.
But he had not been linked to them. Rangers gives them a solid third line center. Does it take him over? No, I think no, not necessarily.
Right.
If Carolina can find a goaltender, I still think it could go either way.
Right.
Monahan does make it a little bit harder for the other teams to catch him, but
agreed.
Not necessarily the division.
So yeah, we're going to help out Mark here. Who are the Isles rumored for? Well, that very big long stretch was Noah Hannafin. We're going to go with Vetrano. He's a right winger from Anaheim. He's also a former New York Ranger. I don't know. Again, you do Wallstrom for Vetrano. Maybe, but again, he's 30. I don't know if that's going to be part of the Islanders' idea right now, because if Wallstrom shows any kinds of life, hockey life with Patrick Waugh, you're going to want to keep Wallstrom for when next season is over and Kyle Palmieri's contract is over.
That's who the Ducks will want. Ducks will want a young player for.
Probably. But again, Wallstrom's already been through that Brett Thompson defensive style system.
Nope.
Yeah. So they've already got that on Anaheim. So as of right now, it really is just Vetrano. And this is the point we're trying to make here tonight, folks. There's a lot of teams that need a lot of players. The Islanders are basically standing pat at the moment because it's a big mess. Yes, he was rumored. I'm going to butcher the last name, so I'm not even going to try. But I was told Montreal. What's that?
Jack Eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not actually. Montreal said they're not trading him.
No.
They said they learned that lesson from Romanov. They learned that lesson. They're going to try to keep him and go from there. So I don't think he's going anywhere so far. All right. Jersey is going to be a pain. We have one more IL rumor, but I'm going to hold on to that for one moment. Jake Allen and Elvis Merzlikins. Jake Allen's from Montreal. Elvis is from Columbus. Jake Allen might, if he gets hot, he might be able to help the Devils. But we need like the Jake Allen from like the COVID season in those playoffs.
Yeah, 2019. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the Jake Allen you're looking for. It's been a couple of years. Again, with like Randy said, with the Devils now getting long-term injured reserve money in there, you can make any trade you want at this point. But Jake Allen might be able to get you into the playoffs, but I don't know if they'd be able to do anything else. Again, a healthy Carolina team could beat the Devils.
And you wonder, this could be a last run for Jake too. He's getting old in the tooth, so this could be his last shot.
And Elvis, again, no playoff experience. Granted, it's one of those. If do you have a Cam Ward? Do you have a Patrick Waugh? Do you have Bennington? Guys who have never been in the playoffs yet, and all of a sudden they get hot, and that's the end of that. That's the only thing you're looking for in New Jersey. Are we going to see that 2 years in a row? I don't know about that. Randy, give me your thoughts. Do you think Elvis can take Jersey into a deep playoff run at the moment?
I don't know. I mean, he's a good goalie, and I think he's better than. I think he's just had a bad year. I think he's a good goalie. Again, I think it'd be a move like Hanifin would make them playoff contenders.
Right.
He won't. Allen will not get him past Carolina and the Rangers. I would be shocked. He'd really have to become a Price.
Right. All right. So this is the one trade rumor that absolutely frightens me. Oh, Jim, you ruined my moment. Not to the Devils, Jim. But my rumor here, and this bothers me to no end. Gibson to Carolina.
Well, I don't know. Freddie Anderson just started skating.
Yeah, but
I'm kidding. I know.
I know. Jim, I say this is all love and respect, but I hate you at the moment. Stealing the thunder like that.
And he's not good when he's unhappy. So
what's that?
I said you're not good when you're unhappy. So
no, not at all. No. Gibson to North Carolina to Carolina. Gary.
Are they trying to set a record for the most goalies ever to play on one team in a year? Because aren't they on 5 right now?
Yeah, that's not close.
Really? Okay, Mr. You know what it is?
Calgary Flames, 8 goalies.
Really? When was this?
No. The same, Pokey Reddick was one of the goalies. The Russian
Elvin Pokey Reddick.
We lost the first 4 goalies on injuries.
Wow.
And then, I think it was 7 or 8 in Calgary. Yeah.
Really? Wow, that's amazing.
It was quite the story.
So
All right, and
please,
listen,
next
this
question.
is yeah. Listen, this is the next one here, and this is another Isles one. Again, internet rumor, can't really help anyone out. But what's the idea of Matthew Dumba becoming an Isles player or Philadelphia Flyers?
Oh, wait, before you do that, I just have to correct Randy. I just looked it up.
Yeah.
Calgary only had 7.
Oh,
The record
sorry.
is 8. The record is 8, but by the 2019 Philadelphia Flyers.
Oh, so I thought it was 8. Thanks, Gary.
Yeah,
It is 8.
Talbot, Brian Elliott, Carter Hart, Calvin Pickard, Anthony Stolarz, Michael Neuwirth, Alex Lyon, and Mike McKenna.
And they're all starters now. Go figure.
Yeah.
Now that we're bringing up Philadelphia, like 3/4 of those players are all there.
NHL. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Right,
I thought
they're all
Tyler had
starting
the
in the
8.
NHL.
Gary.
Lovely. All right. So listen,
Back
boys
to
and
the room.
girls, go in the chat room. Anyone in the chat room, try to Thomas is being annoying. Elias Lindholm is officially a Canuck. So while we're on the show, I don't know, Randy, I would like to let you have the honors there. Let me know when that's official.
Yeah, well, I just got a text telling me that Cruz has accepted the trade to Calgary, so it is official. We just don't know who it is.
Okay, fair enough. So
Thomas is
you heard it
going-
here first on Isles Talk, boys and girls. Calgary Flames and the Vancouver Canucks have a trade in the works, and it appears that Lindholm is going to be a Vancouver Canuck. Those Swedes always going to Vancouver.
2 trades on the Trans-Canada Highway in the last couple of months between Calgary and Vancouver. Interesting.
So
Okay,
excellent
back to the
call.
Islander rumor.
Good job on that one. That one's all you, bud. So, well, you on this show. This one's all you. But again, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I have Randy in my circle every once in a while, because once out of the 50 to 75 rumors he comes up with do happen. So,
he gets a nugget every once in a while.
Paul, I am flipping you off in about 50 different languages.
Yes. All right. So listen, real quick, seriously, back to seriousness here for a moment.
Yeah.
Matt Dumba, New York Islander. Gary, I'm semi excited to hear a name like that. He would be a perfect Islander.
Yeah, I think so too. Strength, power, good offensive ability. People would say it's an upgrade over number 24 right now. So yeah, I would think, I've supported Scotty a lot through the years when he was, a lot of people ripped on him, but this year he's struggling. No doubt about it. Could it be part of the injury situation from last year? Probably. But that would be a definite upgrade to the second line
Right.
deep for sure.
Yeah. And again,
and you could put if you get him without losing a defenseman, you could put Mayfield in the 5-6, take a little less of the responsibility off him, and let him freelance and do what he can do.
Right.
So that's
Duncan is one of the top 3 defensive defensemen on the market.
Dumba? Yeah.
You got Dumba, you got Tanev, and then you got Walker out of Philly.
Right.
And Walker is the best one of the 3, in my opinion. But Dumba is a close second with Tanev.
Right.
If you guys can get Walker, get him, get Dumba, jump on him. Absolutely. I'm just sending a text out. Sorry, guys.
No, it's okay.
Go ahead, do what you got to do, bud. This is your little moment. So go ahead, do what you got to do. So listen, while Randy's doing his work on the Flames real quick, when it comes to trade rumors, yes, I listen to them. Yes, it's more entertainment than anything else. So that way we can all come together and kind of talk about it like this. I like to think outside of the box. Pisses the Islanders off. Not because it's the exact trade that happens or the scenario that happens, but for me, being in Pennsylvania, I like to be on the right track. I like to think that I know, or I can have an educated guess as to what the Islanders might do. Okay? I'm 100 miles away from you guys. It's kind of tough. So, thinking outside of the box, in all honesty, gentlemen, a lot of these players are 27, 28, 29, 30, 33. I don't know if Lou would trade a first round pick for any of them. Lindholm aside, and unless he can re-sign them, which for some of them I don't think he would. No, Hannafin, obviously, he would be. He's the exception. He's the younger one. Lindholm maybe for the exception because he's got the talent there.
There isn't anybody in that bunch outside those two names that you said that deserves a
Monahan, no. Jake Allen, no. Even Monahan, no. Jacob Chitrin, probably. But again, they're all going to be very, very costly.
No, the
What
closest.
I was looking at
Go ahead.
was a player, something similar to Bo Horvat, but a restricted free agent. Who are we losing? Who could we fill in that draft, in those draft years that the Islanders haven't picked up yet? And I talked to Randy about this, and Gary, I want your thoughts on this. I would trade the Islanders' first round pick. And for those of you in the chat room, go right ahead as well. Voice the opinions. I would go a first round pick, Oliver Wahlstrom, and whatever. I'll go Ishakov to the Buffalo Sabres for Casey Middlestat. If we can get Casey under contract. Casey, for me, is a second line forward. He can play left wing. He can also play center. And with Brock Nelson having one more season after that, Casey Middlestat is basically your Matt Barzal on a second line. So that way you wouldn't have to move Matt Barzal off that first line ever again, because we've all seen what happened there. You'd still have William DeFore ready to go to take over Kyle Palmieri's spot. And then you can move Engvall down to the third line with Pajot and Holmstrom. And then eventually you have a fourth line of Fasching, Cizikas, and Gauthier.
I think it's too much.
Really?
Too much to give.
So who are you? All right. First
I think
rounder
it's
in
too much.
Wahlstrom? First rounder or second rounder in Wahlstrom?
Maybe second.
Okay.
Yeah, it's too much. Again, he's on just under a point per game basis now, 42 and 49.
Right.
And that's the best he's ever had. He hasn't had a 60-goal season in his career. He's been hurt a lot. So I don't think it's worth the hit. Yes, he's only a $2.5 million hit. So you're not losing much in that aspect, but I think you're giving too much for what he is.
Fair enough.
You're really hedging, I think, on that.
The reason why
Randy, give me your thoughts.
The reason why he's hedging is because he knows what Buffalo's turned down already, because I told him. So he's cheating.
What's that?
But Buffalo turned down already a second-round pick.
Oh, did they? No, you didn't tell me that.
Oh, yeah. They already turned – I thought I did. Sorry. Yeah,
They turned down a second for him?
Yeah, they already turned down a second-round pick. So it's going to cost you – so Paul might be right. That's how much it might cost.
He might be right, but I don't think it's worth it.
Do I? I think it's close. I would probably go a first round pick and that's it. I wouldn't add Wahlstrom.
Fair enough.
I would give away the first round pick, but that's as high as I would go.
Yeah,
I would go higher than that.
Okay.
And I don't think
Because what you're doing now is that if you bring in Casey Middlestat and you're able to give him a decent contract and you stay under the cap, you can basically have Brock Nelson move on if you wanted to after next season. You also give Danny Nelson plenty of time to develop at Notre Dame and Bridgeport, and he can come up whenever. Pajot is still there for another year after that. So there's enough balance there and center depth if you need it to keep this team competitive and maybe move forward. And even this year, you put Middlestat with Brock Nelson and Kyle Palmieri. Oh, that's a second line. And Middlestat can also help on the power play. I think he does penalty kill as well, but I think he's more power play than anything else.
Yeah. No, I like the player. I'm not.
It's the idea, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying
right.
the Islanders are going after Casey Middlestat,
No.
but it's the idea. And you know what, Jim? I'm going to go along with this. I said this on the prospect show. Ishakov, I wouldn't mind if Ishakov was the 13th forward next season. I'm all right with that. But I don't. I see. For me, Middlestat is 6'1", 200 pounds. That's a lot better than 5'10", 170. That's the only thing I've got with Ishakov. That's it. Zegras. I know people have been asking about Zegras, and listen,
Way too much.
Zegras is doing great, but he's got no defense to him at all.
I also I don't know if you saw the other article in The Athletic. I think it came out today. It was the only thing I really gotten to look at in the last week. But it was that little unofficial poll taken by the players, the anonymous poll.
Oh, yeah, I didn't get to read that.
Yeah, well, they rated Zegras as the most overrated.
Oh boy.
I think there was a comment that Zegras is horse bleep.
Okay.
So yeah. You know what? That talented as this kid is, still hasn't done a thing. Still hasn't shown anything. And that's the last thing you want here.
Right.
Let some other town have him. I wouldn't want him here. Not in that locker room.
Right. Listen, I'm going to throw out another name. This is only for my own selfish service here. Back in that 2019 draft, we were doing a draft party over at Dugan's on Long Island, and we were going over, everyone at the draft and everything else like that. And I wanted Connor I believe it was McMichael.
Michael,
yeah.
It was Kaliev, Tomasino, those three. There was a couple of others in there. But my big pick I was really hoping for was Arthur Kaliev. He was the one I was looking for because I think we had already gotten J.G. Pajot for that. I had already known that, Nelson, Barzell, Pajot, those were your first three. So I wasn't expecting the Islanders to really draft a centerman. I was going for that winger. And I was looking for Kaliev. And lo and behold, it was the 19th pick. I'm getting excited. Everyone's excited because everyone's right there. And the Islanders go out and they draft Simon Holmstrom. Everyone else went, who? And I was like, in what spot? And I'm like, what? Like, Simon Holmstrom was a top third, bottom second rounder for me because he had been out all season. There was a lot of concern with his injuries. But Arthur Kaliev is now available from the Los Angeles Kings. And it's one of those modes where it's like, can you get him on the cheap and maybe bring him in? But again, for me, he's the West Coast version of Oliver Wahlstrom. He doesn't do well with that 200-foot two-way game that Todd McClellan and the Kings are going through right now. But, look at the Kings. They're all falling apart. So is this a moment where Lou can get him on, get him while the value is low, bring him in and have someone like Patrick Waugh develop him? But you also have Oliver Wahlstrom. So for me, for the next couple of weeks, I think you got to see Oliver Wahlstrom in the lineup. You got to see what he can do. And if he's honestly requesting a trade, then I would make a trade for Kaliev and go for there. Go, change scenery for change of scenery.
Right, reclamation project for reclamation project.
Absolutely.
If Lane was still the coach, I would say move him.
Yes,
I would have said move him. But now that, and again, Patrick said a nice thing about him and was talking with him for a while. This could be the project. This could be the one.
Right.
You know, it could be a different. It's again, you're hoping obviously with Patrick, it's going to be a different system. So maybe Oliver gets a little more receptive. You know, get him in the
Sure.
lineup. You know, he got an assist on the one goal, you know, the other night. So you say, you know what, you know, things are going to come to play. You know, you'll get to freelance a little bit more than you would have been.
Right.
But maybe, you know, Patrick putting some good words in his head or teaching a few French phrases to him. Maybe that might
Sure.
help. I don't see why not. You know, and you and I, everybody that listens to the show for more than a couple of weeks, know our relationship with Paul and I's relationship with Oliver Wallstrom and what we thought should have been done and what didn't get done and all
Right.
that. But this situation cleans the slate right now. You know, if there was ever we said, the beginning of the year, this could have been his last shot. Well, you know what? He just got, it's like a pinball game when you get over 50,000 points and you get that extra ball. He's got that extra ball now. It's up to him to take that ball and take that puck and do whatever you have to do with it.
So
Randy.
let me ask you both a serious question about Wallstrom since we're talking about him.
Sure.
How close is he to becoming a bust?
Ooh, I don't know about a bust.
I wouldn't call it a bust. I would just call it just like again, Kaliev in LA. It's just a change. It's play. It. You've covered the game for so long. Guys need a change of scenery. They're talented.
Yep.
I think he's amazingly talented, but unfortunately, the system he came up in was not suited for him, and that's why I say he's got that extra pinball right now with Patrick. And Patrick's not going to preach the same game that Barry and Lane did. It's going to be different. You know that. I know that.
Yep.
So now he's got a chance. And with no hindrance from anybody else, Patrick should give him the shot, and I hope he does because he's a good kid. He's got the right attitude. He says the right things, but it's between his ears. And if Patrick can get him, if anybody can get in between somebody's ears, it's Patrick Roy. We all know that.
Right.
So this Oliver, baby, if you were listening by the shadow of a bit of optimism, this is your chance, brother. Do it.
Yeah, he has to. Because if he doesn't,
we'll trade him to Calgary.
We'll turn to you, Randy.
We'll trade him to Calgary.
Well, the reason why Paul's laughing because Paul knows Calgary's has been interested in. How long have we been interested in Wallstrom? What, 2 years now?
3 years now.
3 years.
3 years. Yeah.
So we've been wanting him for some time.
Yeah.
And that would be involved in the deal for either Hanifin or Tanev. So.
Right. All right. So listen, this is an open-ended question here, and I'm going to let Mark take this one over. Are the Islanders going to be buyers or sellers? And for everyone here, leave your comments there, whether or not you're going to be, whether the Islanders should be buyers or sellers. Because in all honesty, gentlemen, we've gone down that free agent list. The Devils are a mess. Carolina may not have that goaltending. The Rangers are looking to improve.
Sounds like Pittsburgh's going to rebuild.
Sounds like Pittsburgh's going to do I've been told it's a minor rebuild, and what the definition of minor is 2 years. They're going to try to do. They're going to try to keep their picks. They're going to slowly watch everything go across, and then they're going to go from there. So Randy, give me your thoughts. Outside perspective, should the Islanders be buyers, sellers, or should they stand pat?
I'm leaning towards stand pat unless they find a deal that will really help them. I'm not sold on giving up my future.
Okay.
For a playoff run, even if we go for a future, is there a guarantee that we're going to get by the Canes and the Rangers?
Right.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Right.
I don't know, but if I can find a trade where it's going to help me improve, by all means, yes.
Okay.
But
Gary,
be careful.
I think I'm leaning towards if we make a deal, he's going to do. I would think it could be a Pajot-like deal and happen way before. He got Bo at this time last year, right. During the All-Star break. I think if he's going to make a move, he's going to do it beforehand. I don't see. He hasn't done anything at the deadline. He's made his moves beforehand. If anything happens, I think you're gonna, as Jim just said, and you can put that up. The next 10 games are going to be big. I think if they go, let's just sake of argument, say 6-3-1 in the next 10 games, and they get a little tighter up to that spot, then I think he's going to pull the trigger on something. But if they go, 3-5-2, and they're sinking a little lower, I don't know. I think, Lou tends to try to, put his cards up first.
What happens if he goes 500? You go 500, Gary.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If he goes 3-5-2 or 4-4-2 or whatever, I don't know. It really depends on what the outlook looks like. What's the weather forecast at those 10 games? Are you within 3 points of a spot? Are you in a spot? But if you're 7 or 8 out, you're talking, 10 games. You're talking literally, a week or two before the deadline.
Right.
I don't know, but then
All right,
again,
so
that's why I'm here and Lou's there.
Right. I'm gonna get to one of these in a moment here. Listen, I'm still a buyer, and this is why. If the Islanders are a buyer and they get that one player, I don't really know who they would be getting at the moment. But with the defensive structure that this team currently has, if they could find someone else on the power play, whether it's another puck-moving defenseman to help that out, because we all know I love that record when the Islanders score 3 goals or more with that defenseman. Honestly, the only challenge I think the Islanders would have would be against Carolina if they got that goaltender. The Rangers don't scare me. The Devils don't scare me. Pittsburgh's too old. Washington's had a great run. I don't, but I'm still keeping them in there. I have all respect for John Tortorella at this point. But if the Islanders can find that right piece and they're running on all cylinders, you got to be a buyer. I mean, you have a chance to go to at least the division finals with Carolina. Go for it. Why not? It's and I may have to get into. I may do another show. Why the NHL is changing in terms of the draft picks and going after, trading away veterans and whatnot. I'm gonna do this one right here real quick. We're not in a playoff spot at trade deadline. Do we trade some veterans like Palmieri? No. The answer to that is no, because a lot of those teams know that Palmieri has that extra season. That probably includes Brock Nelson as well. Those are the type of plays or trades, should I say, that don't happen unless it's at the draft, a la Josh Bailey. I don't think you're going to get anything for those players if they have another season. If this was Brock Nelson's last season, you're getting a first rounder and then some for Brock. But he's got another season to go. And with the season that Brock has had, he's earned next season to be an Islander. So I'm sure that if the players want to be traded, they're going to be asked to be traded, and Lou will accommodate with that. But in general, most managers, they cannot trade that one player because of that extra year, sometimes two. So, Pelech, to my knowledge, gentlemen, Pelech is just day to day. As far as I know, he's coming back. I'm hoping sometime soon, but he's day to day. But again, I don't know if that's just part of the process. If he misses more than a certain amount of games, he'll go on injured reserve again. I'm not sure. I do agree. Philly's going to dip without Hart. There's no doubt about it. They don't have the goaltending either, and that's the other thing. If Sorokin and Varlamov are healthy, ready to go for the rest of the season with the defensive structure that they have, the Islanders have what it takes to sneak into the playoffs. The question is, what's going to be available at that trade deadline between now and March 8th? I think we shouldn't be nibbling at mediocrity. We need picks and prospects, not 2 home games in the first round. I will respectfully disagree with that one, Robin. I used to believe that. I was wholeheartedly into Stanley Cup or bust. Unfortunately, the league doesn't see it that way, and I think I'm going to have to do a show like that to kind of explain the point. It would be more of an educational thing. Believe me, Robin. I would love it if it was Stanley Cup or bust. That's how it should be. It's not anymore. It's not. They literally are looking for playoffs, and then, unfortunately, it's the playoffs are another season. Whatever happens, happens. If we go, we go. A lot of people are saying that what happened last year with Florida and Vegas was lucky. I'm going to disagree. I think a lot of players, a lot of teams, they are all pacing themselves for a playoff run because I think we can all agree with this gentleman. The NHL have the best playoffs in any sport.
Yep.
There's no doubt about that. So, Pulock, great question. Listen, they're building up enough cap space with Pulock there. If they don't do anything and they have a cap space of roughly $6.5 million, they can take him off injured reserve, and guess what? They can bring him back whenever they want. But it's my understanding. Don't hold me to it. It's my understanding that he got hit in that same bad spot of his ankle that he got injured before. So, it may take a little longer to heal.
And he's
But
not
again,
skating.
I can't confirm that. Yeah.
And he's not skating yet, which means
he's not skating.
Let's just say, for sake of miracles, that he says, I feel better, I'm going to go out and skate. You're still talking 3 weeks before he even comes back.
At least.
Yeah.
At least 3 weeks.
At least.
So, we're hoping he comes back. But listen, you get a revamped. Let me rephrase that. You get a rejuvenated Dobson, Romanoff, a healthy Pelican Pulock. That's a solid top 4.
Wow.
Yes, Randy.
Guys want to hear how Calgary took Vancouver for a.
Go ahead. Make the announcement.
Flames have acquired Andrei Kuzmenko.
Kuzmenko.
And 2024 first round pick. Hunter Bratsikowicz, their best defenseman prospect. Joey Jumo.
Okay.
And a conditional 24th round 2024 first round pick.
A conditional 20.
A conditional 4th pick?
4th round pick.
Wow.
So they got 2 players, a first round pick, and a 4th round pick. So no wonder they cannot.
Oh, they're going for it. Wow.
Yeah, I mean that's off. Am I wrong though? That's an awful lot for Lindholm, isn't it?
That's a lot for Lindholm.
Get cleaned up.
Is Lindholm? Does Lindholm have any intentions of re-signing? He's gotta.
Yeah.
Well,
you're giving up. You're basically giving up a good farm for that.
But going into that. You're going into that trade. You got to realize where you are, where that team is, and what they've done. You got to hope you want to sign with them.
Oh yeah, right. Because if you didn't,
no doubt, Robin. No doubt. At his age right now, behind Pettersson, Pettersson and Lindholm, Vancouver's just making a big statement. No doubt.
That's a huge statement. But so Calgary will have at least 2 first round picks now, and if they got that much, what are they going to get for Hanifin and Tanev? Like
Hanifin's going to be a farm system.
I'm begging for that. You guys have not mentioned a player that I thought was involved. I'm trying to find him, but it was a player.
Ladies and gentlemen, and right there is the trade. Thank you, Thomas. So well done there, Randy. Well done. Like wow.
That's amazing.
All right, that takes Kuzmenko off the list, unless Calgary trades Kuzmenko, but that's another topic for another day.
Yeah.
And yes, I agree. Selke candidate. Absolutely, Robin.
Yeah.
I find this team so frustrating. Well, listen, we're gonna hold that for another time. And listen, I want to take that seriously. Um, that sounds like another venting session that we can do at some point. But I want to hope to answer that question for you. For all of you, I want to paint not a rose-colored picture here, but I want to give you an understanding of why the Islanders are doing things the way they are and not going the traditional way, like some of us have been used to, a la Bill Torrey or Jimmy Devellano, or even what Garth Snow tried to do back then. It's even different, even 20 years ago. So, um, give me about another week or two. And Mark, if you really want me to do a show on that, I will try to explain why the Islanders are doing what they're doing. I'd be more than happy to do that.
I'm going to make a plug in, and that will help make a plug in for the blog I wrote. As I said in the blog, the Islanders are going to wait for Patrick Roy to try to see what he can do with that team.
Okay. I agree.
There's no hurry. I mean, Patrick Roy is going to do what Patrick Roy does, and then they'll work it out.
Right.
He'll find the things he'll build.
I didn't realize Kuzmenko was making that much money.
5.5.
Well,
Yep.
Yeah.
But it was only a 2-year deal. It was a 2-year bridge show me deal.
Yeah. He's shown them.
Yeah.
He'll be on a front line with Huberdeau. They've been trying to find a goal scorer.
Yeah. He's only got 8.
With Huberdeau?
Next year, that will be a deadly combination, maybe.
Wow. Even I'm excited to watch that one get Randy. Wow.
Yeah.
That's who we'll be with.
You know what, Mark? They haven't actually they haven't explained what his role is yet. I don't think they've officially made that announcement.
No, because it's not official. It's still he left he left Gatineau, but it's not it's still not. I think they still need to work on some stuff before that happens.
Yeah. And Mark, I went into my explanation of the prospect rankings at the beginning of the show because it kind of ties in to what we were talking about tonight with the trade deadline and everything else like that. But just to recap, folks, listen, the Isles prospect system is what it is. I expect them more to be buyers for college free agents anyway, and drafting overagers in the Canadian Hockey League. If they can find anyone over in Europe, I think they're going to be buyers in that one as well, free agency wise. But it's on purpose. And yes, Mark, I will do a show on that. I will get into the anatomy of why Lou has been doing what he's been doing now for the last 5 years. Moving forward, I said it a few weeks ago. The guys have said it here on the show. We're not expecting the Islanders to trade their first round pick unless it's an absolute winner.
Yeah.
Like it seriously has to be a home run. And ladies and gentlemen, thanks to Randy here and the information, and I'll throw a stick tap to Thomas Boyle. That was a lot. That was a lot that Vancouver just gave up for Calgary.
But again, the situations are different. Their
situations are different. Situations are different, right? Situations are different, just like that draft, that prospect ranking. Everything is different.
Yep.
They're going for it. So right now, we were going through all those other teams in the Metro. They're a hot mess. Everyone's a hot mess. The only kind of stability at this point, from what it sounds like, are the Islanders. Granted, the Islanders need to wake up on their offense and stop making the stupid plays, but that's on Patrick Roy. You got to give him a little more time to get that system and the structure in place for all the players. Other than that, you're now going to have a healthy Ilya Sorokin, a well-rested Ilya Sorokin to go along with a healthy Semyon Varlamov. Excuse me.
Yep.
Everyone's going to be ready to go. Save for Alan Pelech. We'll just put him off to the side for a moment. But Randy, real quick, almost time to go here. If you had an opportunity to pick one position, where would you have the Islanders go? If there was a trade available, where would you go?
third line forward, and the guy out of San Jose, Matt LeBlanc.
Okay, well done.
Kevin LeBanc.
Gary?
Kevin LeBanc.
Kevin LeBlanc. Yes.
Because he's a Staten Island boy. So yeah, and
Yes.
he played youth hockey on Long Island. So
Yes,
yeah,
he is.
it would be nice to get a homecoming. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning the same way. You need to improve that third line. But if there is another solid defenseman, and I didn't think about Dumba until you said it, and that kind of intrigued me. Do we really need defensive help? Yeah, we do, and he can fill both ways. He can be your number 2 power play defenseman. Aho's done okay. He's not been terrible. He's not been great, but he would be a good number 2 guy. And he's got the power. He's got the strength. He can clear people out of the net, away from the net. And he's the kind of guy that's been, someone who can, support his teammates. So I wouldn't be disappointed with that move.
Yeah, but Vetrano has been rumored to us. That does make sense. So that does, that's on par with Randy just said. Vetrano would be a perfect third line, maybe even a second with Palms and Rock. Who knows? That would work. But he is a UFA, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So,
Lou doesn't like the deal sometimes with those.
Yeah, Lou isn't going with the UFA. So if you can get Vetrano on a 1 or 2 year deal, because again, I think Vetrano's 30 or 31. I don't know if Lou is going to go that I don't want to say old, but that type of a veteran player.
That route.
Yeah, that route. There's been rumors of that, no doubt.
Yeah. No.
That's a good case, Angie, no doubt. But again, at this point, Matt Dumba or Sebastian Aho or Mike Riley. Mike Riley's done well, but
he's a definite 6-7. Yeah, but yes, you immediately put Dumba into the 3 or 4 slot. Easy.
Oh, easily.
He is signed next season. Okay, maybe then.
Yeah,
maybe. I'm all right with that. Yeah.
He's a solid winger.
All right. Who would you give up for Dumbs? Probably. Well, Dumba, I know for a fact is an unrestricted free agent, so I'm not sure there. Let's go with Andy's case here. If he is still that type, maybe a 4th rounder. Late. If the trade deadline is March 8th, 2:00 in the afternoon hour time, I'd probably make that trade at 1:30, and that would be like the last deal.
No.
Maybe.
I would. The highest I would go is a 3rd rounder.
Sure. Well, we don't have a 3rd rounder. We don't have a 3rd rounder.
Oh, then I would.
He would be a last resort.
We don't have a 3 and we don't have a 7.
Sure. So, what am I looking for? I would probably go defenseman as well. When healthy, the defense can be a very big strength. And yes, a healthy Pelech will certainly help. But in Sebastian Aho's slight defense, he is not a right-handed defenseman. He's a left-handed. He's playing in his offside. You need a right-handed defenseman. I don't know if Mike Riley can do that either. I'm not sure. And again, we don't know if Robert Bortuzzo is coming back, but Robert Bortuzzo is not a right-handed defenseman either. You're missing a puck-moving defenseman who can help out on that second pair with Pelech. He doesn't necessarily have to play as many minutes. You can switch Mayfield and that other right-handed defenseman together if you wanted to, because I think Pelech would make up for Mayfield's mistakes if he makes any. For me, if you want to solidify the defense and make a run like that, you probably could. But again, I think we're all in agreement tonight for right now. For right now, I can't see the Islanders trading their first unless it's a completely blow your socks off type of move.
That really had to be a blow you. I mean, that had to be the best. I mean, you really have to get a stud there. I just don't want to give up that first round.
Yeah.
Guys,
So, well, listen.
I need to sign off.
Yeah, go ahead, Ray. Go ahead, Gary.
Randy,
I'm gonna
nice attitude.
Yeah.
Listen, guys.
No,
great
no,
show
we're
as
all
always.
getting up here. Yeah, we're all
Oh,
getting
yeah.
off
Okay,
here.
if you are, then I'll wait. I'll wait.
Yeah, we're all getting off here. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming on. To those who want that show, that's fine. Let's do that. Zegers will be an Islander. When that happens, James, I will personally have you on as a guest, and you can gloat the entire time. Right there, ladies and gentlemen. James has said it. He's the insider. We'll go along with that. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, give me another week or so. I'm hoping to have Lyle Richardson from, I believe, the Hockey News coming in to talk a little more rumors and whatnot and cover the rest of the NHL.
And I'm also working on getting Ethan Sears from the New York Post to come on as well.
And we're also working on Art Staple as well. I'm actually we may do Art as well sometime soon. So we're going to be having a few guests over on the next couple of weeks. So make sure you tune in. Please
tell your friends.
Oh, by the way,
don't forget to follow us. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Isles Talk. Hit that like button and follow on Facebook, and please hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube.
I'll get even, Gary. I'll get even.
No, you won't.
No, you won't.
Oh, yes, he knows exactly what I'm talking about.
No,
I will.
Either way,
I will get even. I guarantee it.
Either way, please like, follow, subscribe to Isles Talk everywhere you can. Again, I would like to have another personal thank you to Bill Brady for allowing us to be on the New York Islanders Worldwide Facebook page. You can now find us over there as well. Randy, where can they find you and your breaking news with Elias Lindholm? Because I'm sure you're going to have a blog on that sometime tomorrow.
Well, I'll have to have it one up really quick. Somebody just it's funny. I just got a question about from my New York Ranger contact, which I have to answer.
Where can I find you on social media?
The fan blogger on Twitter. I'm the fan blogger, and you can just look for me at Flames Scratchpad that's my Facebook page for my Flames page, or Randy Workman, of course, on.
Beautiful. So. Gary, where can I find you?
At AlsMet63. I don't tweet as often as I'd like to, but again, Islander fans, if you are at UBS Arena in between periods, come by between section 215 and 216, right across from the Offside Tavern is where I'm usually around, and be glad to shuffle some stories and talk Isles.
And I got to give a shout out here and a suck up moment here to Angie Wilburn. She also is an admin over at the Worldwide group, the Facebook group, and she retweets basically anything I do Isles related or Isles Talk. So again, shout out to Angie Wilburn for all that promotion as well.
Angie.
Bill, Bill, thank you as well. Guys, great show. Listen, we'll be back next Wednesday, and again, congratulations going out to the Calgary Flames for that monstrosity of a trade. Good for you, Randy Workman, breaking it here on the show. We appreciate that. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next week. Let's go Islanders. Let's go Flames. And we'll see you next week.